What's up, scrappy peeps? It's Elle from Inkie Quill, and I am coming at you today. I feel like we've gone back in time a little bit. I'm back on the 12 by 12, and I'm finally, I think this is my first YouTube 12 by 12. I've done a couple on Patreon, but I am back in the swing of things, and a lot of people have asked if I'm liking it again. I have done, if you're a new subscriber, I did 9 by 12 for the last 3 years, and then prior to that I did 12 by 12, and I'm really liking being back in 12 by 12. I'll talk a little bit about the reasons why I changed back throughout this video. But the first thing that I always do is go through my cards, and I think all of the ones that I'm using are from Elle's studio today. They were just, I got one of the monthly kits. I think it may have been December's last year, and I was just going through the cards because they were right there on my desk. And this is the little die cut pack also from that monthly kit. But there are a couple of reasons why I went back to 12 by 12. And there are a couple of reasons why I moved to 9 by 12 in the first place. So for me, I moved to 9 by 12 because I felt like I was in a bit of a funk with 12 by 12. I was a bit sick of it, and I needed to change things up a little bit. I didn't like the way that my pages looked, and I'm pretty sure it was 2015, and I didn't finish all of 2015. I think I only got up to about March or so. And I was also double scrapping at that point. So I had an album just for layouts and an album just for PL, keeping them separate, 12 by 12. And I found that I was including, say, if we went somewhere and caught up with people and took a nice group photo, I was including that in my project life. But then I liked the photo so much, I was double scrapping it and also making a layout of it. And because of that, I fell really behind, as you can imagine, and that's why I've only got till March done. One day I might go back and finish it, but it was just really frustrating me. So for 2016, I thought I would give PL a go again, and so I changed 9 by 12 sizes, which I think was only recently a new thing at that point. And I loved the size. I loved the difference in the page protector, and I started including my layouts and my project life within the one album. Just quickly here, I'm sticking these 2 pages to the photo that's behind them so that they stay in place, and so I don't have to waste a 4x6 card to pop them on. But yeah, I really enjoyed 9 by 12, and it was a fun adventure. I like to include different sized layouts and inserts, and it was really good. However, it had a couple of downsides. The first one is that even though you're only losing 3 inches of space technically on the page protector, it really adds up, and you need to have more page protectors because you can fit less photos on the one page protector. And so if you guys know me, I take a lot of photos. Some may say too many, most might say too many, and I was finding that my number of albums was increasing dramatically. So I can't quite remember, but for 2016, there's at least 7 albums. 2017 isn't finished yet. I've still got the first 3 months of Archie's life to do, and that's going to be a couple of albums in itself. And that's, I think, about 7 or 8 albums. And then 2018 is 8 albums. So yeah, the number of albums was a lot. And so the other reason is that 9 by 12 is just so freaking hard to get your hands on. The only places that I could buy it from were Studio Calico. I think Ali Edwards may also sell them, but postage to Australia from these companies is just so expensive, and especially for albums because they're quite bulky. Once I paid $240 in postage, which is fun. I did buy about 10 albums because that's the best way that I could buy them, was to buy them in bulk. and not pay the least amount of postage that I would pay was about $70-$80 anyway. So I might as well go all out and buy all the albums, but it just became way too expensive. And my favourite page protector that had the 2 4x6s and the rest 3x4s was always out of stock. And so this year, 2019, that's what I'm scrapping now, I decided to go back to 12x12. I don't have any albums, so I had to kind of rearrange and borrow from some older albums while I'm waiting to figure out how many I need for the year so that I can buy some new ones. But I really love it. However, there's another downside for 12x12, and I'm really disappointed that Becky Higgins' Project Life is stopping making physical products. Very, very disappointed, because I do love the Design A page protectors, and I like that you get 60 in a box. I find that a lot of the other brands you can only buy, like, say 10 at a time, and when you're someone who sometimes has 10 page protectors just for 1 week, if it's a big week, then I do prefer to buy them in a bit of a bigger pack. So please let me know in the comments what brand page protectors you enjoy using and where you get them from, if it's an online place where you get them from, because I am going to need to stock up. I'm almost out of my stash. I have sped this bit up quite fast because I'm just doing some writing here, and I just stuck the photo and the card again to the back of the photo behind it, just so that I could use a 3x4 card and I didn't have to use a 4x6 one. So that page is all done. But yeah, I'm liking the 12x12. I have actually set myself a goal. I am getting a whole lot of scrapping done this weekend, and I have a goal to finish 3 months of Project Life and layouts in 4 days. We shall see how that goes. That's 2 albums worth. 3 months is about 2, probably 1.5 albums worth, actually. And so I am going to scrap my little heart out and do kind of a hybrid couch scrapping approach, I think, because I will have limited supplies and on hand. So I will let you know how that goes. I might post some Insta stories and things over the weekend on my Instagram, Inkie Quill, over there if you don't already follow me, if you want to see some peeks as to what I'm up to. But yes, we'll see how that goes. I've printed up until September. I think I've printed up till September of 2019, and I have completed the Project Life up until July. So I'm getting there slowly. But then I've got to do the photo editing and printing for October, November, December, and Violet was born in November, and it's going to be a mammoth month. I'm slightly dreading that process, but we'll get there. I'll use some chocolate as bribes. What do you do to get you through creative tasks that frustrate you or that you don't like as much? I often use chocolate as a bribe, which probably isn't healthy, but my gosh, it does work. It's definitely a way to get me moving and trying to power through stages of the creative process that I really, really don't like, or that just drive me a bit nuts, really. So for this one, this was a photo collage that I made, and so these photos are already stuck together. And these photos, by the way, are from mid-year, so it was winter at the time. Right now, we're in summer in Australia, but you wouldn't know it at the moment. This weekend, I think the weather's only going to be 24 degrees Celsius and rainy. So I might even pull out a jumper and some warmer clothes this weekend, because rainy weather always makes me feel cold, no matter what the temperature is. The other week we did have it was almost 40 degrees where I was. So just a little bit of a change. Aussie summer, you never really know what you're going to get. That's the problem with the weather at the moment. While I've been yakking on about weather, because I'm 100 years old, I am fighting, apparently, with this tiny word sticker sheet. This is a very cute sticker sheet. It's from, I think it's from Dear Lizzy, one of the new collections from her, or not the new ones from Creativation, but before that. And I really like it because the words are all different colours, which is really handy. Adding some puffy hearts, and I have a feeling those hearts are they might be pink paisley, I think. Back with the Elle Studio little die cuts, and this is a pic of like father, like son. So Aaron is a mad coffee man. He loves his coffee. I detest coffee, and I would never drink it in 1,000 years. But Archie likes to copy Aaron, and so he gets a baby chino, which has no coffee in it. Don't worry, peeps, not feeding my already hyper, very enthusiastic, energetic toddler coffee. It's just warmed frothed milk, and sometimes they put a bit of a chocolate sprinkle on it, and he absolutely loves getting a baby chino and drinking it while Aaron drinks his coffee and pretending that it's his coffee. You can see there I ripped off that wonderful, and I had this cork piece, Books and Coffee. I have no idea where that came from, but I've had it forever. And as I said, I don't drink coffee, so it's not very often that I have a coffee picture. And I thought that it was the perfect time to pop it in there. We're standing outside Big W, and I know we had just been in, and I had bought some new books for Archie. So I thought, even though I didn't write that in the label, to me, Books and Coffee makes sense because we buy our books from Big W. So for this next one, this is a picture of Archie and how our breakfasts used to look like. They don't look like this anymore, but he used to sit in his high chair, and the buns used to be in the same area as Archie was. And Archie used to find that very hilarious to drop little bribes off to the buns overboard off his the side of his high chair, and they used to enjoy eating that up. So it's just these little everyday moments that I love looking back on in project life and seeing how, like say, our morning routine has changed, and it's changed even more now when there's another mouth to feed that can't feed themselves yet. But yeah, so Miss Violet woke up, so I wanted to show you how I was scrapping today. I was strapped to the baby. Now I had to speed that bit up because it was all out of focus, and it was also out of focus when I held my pictures up to the camera, because this is a new camera and it's frustrating me, and I think I'm going to go back to the shop and buy a new version of my old camera because not happy, Jan. But here are some close-ups of the layout, and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed seeing me back in 12 by 12 PL, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.